Got it. Okay, let me put this down here. Copy streaming link. Put this somewhere else. Just 1 second. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Gideon Ariel, and I'm pleased to have you all here tonight. What we're going to do, as we've been doing for the past 3 quarters, I think, or 2 quarters, is have a read-through of the agenda of the meeting. And I've prepared the agenda very well so that it is basically going to be, unless there are some comments, and of course, comments are totally invited and appreciated. But if there are no comments, then these notes will turn into the actual minutes of the meeting. So let me share the screen and find the, yes, here it is. So it's still a draft, and it will turn into a minutes. Just delete those words draft of if at the end. So this is the summary of resolutions as per the bylaws permitting board meeting agreement in writing in lieu of minutes of a meeting of the board of directors of RootSource. Since this is now an official meeting because we have enough people, then we can get rid of this, or at least change. Anyway, okay, call to order as per Article 6, the board of directors. Okay, so we're going to have the board of directors who aren't here affirm their consent in writing with respect to the resolutions to act described below. But the rest of us are here, and that is why, since 3 board members are present, the meeting may proceed. So let me read everything through anyway. As per Article 6, Paragraph 7 of the Root Laws Bylaws, informal action, any action required to be taken or which may be taken at a meeting, may be taken without a meeting and without prior notice if a consent in writing or electrical transmission setting forth the action so taken is affirmed by board members or members of the committee with respect to the subject matter of the vote. Consent must be filed with the corporate records by the secretary. The board of directors of the corporation affirmed their consent in writing with respect to the resolutions to act described below. That is at the end. Here is the affirmation. The document was prepared. This document was prepared by the CEO and circulated by WhatsApp among all directors, and in some cases was directed in detail via Zoom. Those cases are with Revis, Al. Wait a second. There must be somebody else here. Revis, Al, and Shelley. Yeah, I don't see everybody. 1 second. Now I see everybody, but let me put it down like this. Yeah.
Shelley said she could listen, she just wouldn't be able to watch.
Right, but when I had a view of the people in the meeting that I could only see 4 or 5 at a time, and there were 6, and so I didn't see Shelley or something like that. So now I see her. So since there are 3, so the 3 of you are having the detail, this document discussed in detail by Zoom. The Zoom meeting was recorded and is available as a copy of this document at rootsource.com/board meetings. It's not there yet. It will be Bezrat Hashem. And agreed upon following the Zoom meeting held on Thursday, September 30th, 2021, which is today. B, directors present. The following board members were presented with this list of resolutions and were present at the Zoom meeting. Nat, Luann, Stacy. Let's move her to not here yet. If she comes, then we will move her over to there. But instead, we will put in Shelley. So Revis, Shelley, and Albert were here. And the following guests were present with this list of resolutions and were present at the Zoom meeting. That is Gidon, Devra, and Dave. Let me make sure. There's Dave, I'm Gidon, and there's Shelley, and there's Devra, and that's it. Yeah, there are 6 people here, or so I'm guessing. 6 participants, Reva, Shelley, Al, Gidon, Devra, and Dave. As per Article 6, Paragraph 4 of the RootSource Bylaws, quorum. A quorum is recorded for business transactions and passage of motions. A quorum consists of at least 40% of the board members present in person or through telephonic or video participation. Since 3 board members, which is more than 40% of the 6 total or more are present, the meeting may proceed, and now it shall proceed. So the agenda of resolutions to act upon are 1, to add members to the board, 2, to review snapshot of finances, 3, to review the report of activities of Q3 and review the plans for Q4, and 4, to review the plans for 2021 and to see how we're doing with them. 1, to add members to the board. Is the agenda okay? Anybody want to add anything to the agenda? That's the hairy eyeball.
Good.
Al isn't saying, I want to. He's saying that's a fine agenda.
Yes.
To add members to the board, the following people have expressed their desire to serve on the board. Upon a quorum of board members affirming their consent in writing below to admit them, they will officially become members of the board. That person is Dave Pitcher. So, Al, are you okay with Dave being added to the board?
Yes.
Revis, you okay? Shelley, if you are not okay, then you can say so. If you can unmute yourself. Otherwise, we'll accept that as a muted yes. And of course,
So yes, I am too.
Yeah, she's driving. Okay. Let me just say that Dave Pitcher has been a good friend of mine for a long, long time. He's been very active in following Root Source since its very beginning. We were introduced, Dave and I were introduced by Christine Darg, who also introduced me and Bob. And now Dave is the administrative director of the Institute of Midrash Studies of the New Testament, which is a project of Root Source, which we will discuss momentarily. So Dave, by the end of this meeting, when everybody will sign, then you will officially have become a member of the board. I'm happy to have Dave as a member of the board. He's been a pretty active advisor, but being that he'll be an official member of the board, it will be easier to achieve a quorum. Because, like for example, now we will have 4 members out of 7, which is more than 40%. And if we would be fine with 3 members, and he will probably show up. Okay, so that is members of the number 2, review of snapshot of finances. Let me click through here. The board shall review and approve the balances tab of the following document. And here is the balances tab. The document now only, one second, only consists of this tab. No, it consists of other stuff also. So this is the balances tab. Hey, let me hide you guys for a moment. Okay, so this is our balance. We now have 67,000 shekels, 67,509. This is as of yesterday. 67,000 shekels in the Mizrahi Bank in Israel. That's about $21,000. We have $0 in the dollar account at Mizrahi. We have in PayPal Israel about $1,800, $1,811.75 to be exact. We probably added a few dollars since then. Gumroad, we have about $101, $101.96. Payoneer, we have 0. That's not true. We just got, I think we got today some more money, but as of yesterday, we had 0 because we withdrew the Payoneer money. Most of the Payoneer money is books, most and close to probably all of the money that comes in through Payoneer is people who buy books through Amazon, and that is our Amazon royalties. And Give Butter, that's the main income nowadays. As you can see, we have $26,040 in Give Butter as of yesterday. We might have added a few more since then. And our balance in our American bank is $56,495. So altogether, our balances are over $101,000, which is pretty nice. So that is that. And we have no PayPal USA, so I'm not going to delete it because we had some money in there in December 28th. It was a mistake, doesn't matter. And we have no other balances. Other funds that we can expect to get is the Nathaniel Foundation. Let me bring you guys in because I like seeing you. The Nathaniel Foundation is our major supporter. I submit 2 or 3 or 4 projects for funding to them. They decide to give what they decide to give, and so July, August, September. Yeah, I think I submitted something at the end of July, and they they authorized payment for one of them. A few others that they didn't. I'm going to submit more requests at the end of this month. So altogether, and our total income since in donations since January 1st, this entire year, over $110,000, $111,429 have come in, which means since June, we got another $5,000 or so, which is nice. Some other numbers here that we have 214 unique Give Butter donors. A bunch of people have given more than once, but 214 people have given at least once. Our Weber newsletter subscribers, we have close to 12,000. It's going down a little bit. It goes down, as we can see, about 200 or 300 people a quarter, probably about 75 to 100 people a month. But these are people that don't want to be there, so I don't want to have them. Our YouTube subscribers have gone up. That doesn't go down really. And so we have we're closing up to 3,000 subscribers. And altogether, we've had close to 600,000 views on YouTube, 589, 748 views as of yesterday. And there's nothing else to describe over here at this point. We have no more amen. Yeah, we don't do any of this stuff anymore. So that is our balances. Pretty good. Any questions? Okay, so of course, last year we were close to $89 altogether. Now we're up to 111,000 or 101,000, and that is only going to grow B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, so that was the snapshot of finances. Now we're going to review the report of activities of Q3 and our plans for Q4. Q, of course, is the quarter. Here is the document. I have found that since I submit a quarterly report of activities to the church called the First Melissa Church, I find that by preparing this here, it will be better to review it through here as well. Basically, what I have is my tasks list and projects. So this is our project list. So I figured out a way to report everything here on this dynamic project list, but copy it over to here in a nicely formatted method. So that is why I'm going to now say, since July 1st, 2021, our last submitted report, we have focused on or completed the following specific activities in RootSource. So now I shall start reading them. First is the Institute of Midrash Studies of the New Testament. Thanks to a generous seed grant of the Nathaniel Foundation, we are moving forward on this exciting project. The New Testament Midrash, the Institute of Midrash Studies for New Testament. I hope all of you have been to visit the site. When it loads, I will go back to it. We have created a website, all this in the last quarter. We've created a website, reached out to relevant leaders at universities and seminaries, recruited 2 fellows, raised a total of over $55,000 in donations and pledges, and are aiming to start the program in October 2021, which is this month. The fact is we've already de facto started the program. It is the first time we've had this program, so we're not sure what started really means and what ends really means, but we will see what that means. This $55,000 is $20,000 of seed money of the Nathaniel Foundation, about $5,000 of people who gave to our Give Butter campaign, which we ran last month when we launched the website, I think, and an anonymous donor has pledged $30,000. So that is where we're holding. Our budget is about $250,000, but we Israelis are good with managing with what we get. So I'm pretty confident that we are going to, over the next year, raise more money. We're going to focus on it a lot, but we are able to move forward without that. With your permission, I'm going to something I did not practice here. I'm going to find the budget for just 1 second. Slow computer a little bit. Budget. There it is, the Midrashic Studies Institute budget. I'm going to share that with you. Our annual cost, this is not a very inflated budget, but it is a justifiable budget, I believe. Here, this is the annual 12 months worth of budget, comes out to $211,000. 211,000, yeah. Our startup costs were about $10,000. Our first quarter, which is not really Q4, it's not Q3. We didn't start in Q4, and it's not, and as you'll see, this is not the whole budget. The real budget is closer to the black stuff, the emphasized stuff, because right now we only have 2 fellows, so obviously we don't have to pay the fellows 3 and fellow 4 their stipend. We only have to pay our first and second fellows their stipend, and we'll see if that works out. We might have some co-author stipends, and we might have some submission fees. Everything else we will somehow manage. So hopefully we're going to be, so this altogether, I think this is 26,500 plus another 400 is 29,500. Comes out to about, no, this is all of this, 45,000. I don't know what it is. I don't even know what that is anymore. Doesn't really matter. I don't know what these things mean. What it means is that we are way in budget. Is that okay, everybody? I didn't even really have to show that to you. Okay. And I'm very happy if I can, no, that's not what I want to see. I want to go back to this. I would like to also say, besides, okay, so this has loaded. So our webmaster did a very nice job of creating a website over here. We're going to change it a little bit. Oh, she's already changed it. Here is the faculty and administration. She's only created, she hasn't really done it. We have to work on this a little bit more. We're going to have bios of the faculty and the administration. We have 1 faculty member, he's Dr. David J. David Pitcher, and we have 1 administration member, that is Gideon Ariel. So we're going to have little bios of us over there, and we're going to have little bios of the 2 fellows that we have for now. And we're going to do other stuff on this website. Right now, this is the home page. Hope that you guys went through it. And there's a contact us page. And this is where people can apply to be fellows. And this is where people can click in order to support this. We're going to have a blog here, which we don't have yet. And we're going to have people signing up for the newsletter. This is how you can sign up with a group. And then we interview you. This is the, you guys are all familiar with the Give Butter theme. And so hopefully people will give $25 monthly or $1,000 monthly or whatever. And that is where we're holding with the Midrashic Institute, the Institute of Midrashic Studies of the New Testament. And I, of course, I'm very excited to have it because I think that it will be a project that our donors will find fascinating. Okay. All right. The second, if there's anything that anybody wants to say, then please pipe up. Okay, Rabbi Steinsaltz's lectures have been received very favorably of our students. To remind you, we did a joint venture with the Rabbi Steinsaltz Center, and so Rabbi Steinsaltz is now featured. He's of course of blessed memory, but some of the lectures that he recorded in his lifetime are up on our site. They are exclusively there, and and we're planning to include subtitles. We're working on that. I wrote here, this might be contingent upon getting an earmark grant, but we seem to have enough money. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, hello? Ken, Yonatan. Ken, Be'ezrat Hashem. ודאי. תשמע, רק שנייה, אני באמצע משהו, אבל צ'יק-צ'ק, אני אגיד לך. התשובה היא, רק רגע, אנחנו יוצאים ב-5:53. תהיה לפני הבית שלי. אוקיי, לפני הבית, ליד אותו, ביי. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so Rabbi Steinsaltz's lectures were received favorably amongst our students. We plan to include subtitles to make them even more accessible. Today I spoke with David Ivry, and we're going to work on getting those subtitles. This might be contingent on getting the earmark grant because it's a little bit of a hassle, but we'll try to do that. Teacher payment. We have worked on a plan to remunerate teachers based on lesson views. We've checked, and we will check those views quarterly. We plan to make the first payments during the month of October 2021. That's this month. I have nothing to report here, but in the next quarter, I will report how many views, how many teachers got, or something like that. Of course, the plan right now is to pay each teacher 25 cents per view and another 25 cents per completely watched video, and a few other plans. I'll share the plans next quarter, or I'll just share it in the advisors group. It's not so important for you guys. Teachers payment. Passover symposium videos. We are creating a course of this, each lecture on its own lesson. This past month, we did a lot of things, but my COO, Joanna, was sick for a few weeks, and she moved, and I had, of course, this month was the holiday month, so we have a lot of plans, but we're a little bit behind, but well, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get all this stuff done by the end of next month. So the Passover symposium videos, we are creating a course of this, each lecture its own lesson. When that is ready, we will look at the transcriptions of the talks and pre-written papers of those that were read by the presenters, and then format these texts into a book. The book, okay. Very exciting. Of course, we actually can say that we haven't gotten the check yet, but our June request of grants from the Nathaniel Foundation included a $20,000 grant for this project, for this line. So we will have plenty of money to get that stuff done. Lighting Up the Nations. Root Source Press is proud to be the publisher of the groundbreaking volume edited by our teacher and faculty coordinator, Dr. Rivka Adler, entitled Lighting Up the Nations, Jewish Responsibility Towards the Nations Today and in the Messianic Era. The launch party will be held via Zoom, and a designated product page on our site and on Amazon will be completed within a few weeks. Very exciting. I didn't read all of the chapters of the book, but it is going to be very groundbreaking, especially it's good for Christians to see a Jewish perspective of Jews, how Jews feel about interacting with Christians. And it will be exceptionally important for Jews to see how they really feel about engaging with Christians. So it is going to be very groundbreaking. I think besides the Zoom launch party, which I think we're going to have in the middle of the end of October, I don't remember exactly, maybe the beginning of November, I don't remember exactly when it's going to be. I think that we're going to be able to get a coverage on the Jerusalem Post, certainly on the Times of Israel, but and certainly on Breaking News Israel, that's for sure. But that will be a very exciting program as well. And I think I'm going to convince Rivka to turn it into a fundraiser. So we'll figure out what the funding for that is, and we'll share it with her a little bit or something like that. We'll see what we can do. I'm only hesitant to turn it into a funder because I'm going to want to do a fundraising event in December, and so I don't want to do too many fundraising events. But you know what? Heck not. I think there's some people who are very happy to give $50 every time they're asked, and it's worth it for me to do something even for this $50. Not to mention that some people will see something like that and give $1,000. Okay, the Root Source Store. To enable our followers and supporters to easily and pleasurably access our books and other purchasable items, we will create an aesthetic store page on our website. We already have such a site, such a page, but I want to make one even more accessible and more aesthetic. prize winning, let me show you what we've got, or at least try to load it back to this page. Well, this is loading. Here it's loaded. Here's the store page. It'll take a few more seconds to load. I think here it is. Here's the store. This is an automatically generated page thanks to the application that our webmaster is using. This is the default sorting, which is alphabetical, but I like sort by latest. Give it another second to sort. Yeah, so this is the 9th of Av bundle, which we might sell. Or it's the latest fix, so she mostly did it. The prize winning story, I think we're going to get up to that. And Israel First and Jubilee Now, I think we're going to run a promotion campaign because it is now the Shemitah year. So we'll figure something out about that. Anyway, back to here. Prize winning story publishing. We completed the publication of the prize winning story, our first novel, to the delight of the author and to great reviews. We also held an enjoyable launch party. Here is the page and the launch party Zoom recording is accessible there as well. Why don't we just click through there? Maybe we'll see it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here is a product page. We designed these product pages so that they'll look sort of like, or they'll give somebody a feeling that he's on an Amazon book page. Whatever, that doesn't have to interest you too much. Here is the Zoom. And here are a couple of reviews. Okay. Blessed teachers, besides our get paid per view model that I mentioned earlier in this meeting, to remunerate the teachers, we have incorporated a Bless This Teacher widget on every lesson page. Some teachers have already benefited from this feature. And when we expand our reach, I expect that it will be the primary way of teachers getting paid, and more importantly, of bringing Jews and Christians together in root source. In other words, this is still only in planning stage. Nation's 9th of Av. Once again, the root source teachers were heavily featured in this important annual event. Al, would you like to say something about the Nation's 9th of Av? It's been a few months.
Yeah. So am I unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It was a good event. We had a 25-hour video event, and we will be meeting Monday for our first 501c3 board meeting. So that's moving forward. And then we're taking a break till November 8th. And that's when our team will get together. First of all, it's our first prayer meeting for looking forward to 2022, and just asking Hashem, what is the way to proceed for next year? And that's where we stand right now. Should have more to say at our next quarterly meeting.
Thank you very much. You all, when the first Nation's 9th of Av event happened, you thought, okay, we're going to do exactly like this, just bigger and better next year. Not. COVID has turned us all upside down.
Yeah.
Okay. Getting to know your conversations. The talk show format platform is an excellent format to popularize Root Source's mission to bring Jews and Christians together on the basis of mutual respect. The Nathaniel Foundation agrees and has given us a grant to pursue this further. Agrees to what I just wrote, and they have given us a grant. And right now I am recording weekly conversations with Dr. Richard Booker, Pastor Richard Booker, and it's fun stuff, and we'll see what else we do. Okay, we're almost done with what we've been doing. Teacher recruitment and management. We began recruiting new teachers this quarter, and have already brought on 6 new teachers, 50% more than we'd had until now. We're slowing this down until we make headway in site marketing and promotion. but we are still on track for making a teacher's page on root source an acceptable and even in thing for Orthodox Israeli rabbis and teachers. Okay, what this means is that when we only have about 15,000 people on our newsletter, and only about 25% people open the newsletter, then we're not getting a lot of views to what we feature in the newsletter. But if we'll have 100,000 people subscribing to the newsletter, and we say we've just published a new course, then 25% of 100,000 is 25,000. 25,000 people might click through to watch that new video. 25,000, let's call it 24,000 divided by 4 is 6,000. That comes out to $6,000 to remunerate our teacher. That's pretty darn good. Now, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but we'll be going to places when we get that much people. Bezrat Hashem. Tov. Fundraising intern. We spoke to the director of an equivalent of an MPA program, Masters of Public Administration, at a major Christian university. He was excited to help us find an intern. Hopefully, we will be able to move this forward in Q4. That was Regency. I forget. What was the name of the university, Dave? I forget.
University, Regent University.
What's Regent University? Okay, so you guys heard of Regent University, and I spoke to this guy, and he sounded excited, but like so many people I speak to when they sound excited, they stop returning my emails immediately after. Yes, Al.
Yes. Who was the guy you spoke to?
AJ Nolte.
Okay, I just wondered. My daughter is an alumna of Regent University, and is good friends with the family of the chief Old Testament professor, may have been the only Old Testament professor on their divinity staff. So just wondered if it was him.
Well, look, I contacted this gentleman to be to help me find an intern, and he was excited about that. But I ended up talking about the Institute of Midrashic Studies of the New Testament because we were reaching out to people like that, and he was quite excited about that also. And so we'll see what happens. Chances are we already have this professor of the Old Testament at Regent University on our list, but I don't know. But I meet with Dr. Pitcher weekly to move the institute forward, so we'll maybe think about that in our next meeting.
Hey, as an FYI, I'm an employee alum of there, and I still have a lot of friends on the inside. So if for some reason you hit a dead end on that angle, I'll help you.
Okay, even if I don't hit a dead end, I'll be happy to discuss that with you to see what other roads we can take.
Okay.
Did you say that you were an employee alum?
Well, we were talking alum, so I said I'm an employee alum. I'm a former employee. So in theory, Gidon, I hit what would have been all the major charismatic universities in the U.S., graduating from Oral Roberts University and then working for CBN, among others.
What did you do for CBN?
I was the graduate recruiting director of recruiting.
What?
The admissions office director of recruiting. That one's a whole other story. I mean, Hashem spoke directly in my ear and told me, call CBN University. By the time I picked up the phone and called, the man who answered on the other end was a man that I knew that I didn't know was working there. And the Lord had already spoken my name into his ear over the weekend. They interviewed me over the phone, which they've never done. And I was on the road a week later moving to Virginia.
Well, first of all, Deborah, now you understand why I smile and nod when people say that they believe so much in prayer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. And how long did you work there and when?
Actually, I had just finished my undergraduate degree. So that would have been in the spring of '89. I interviewed over the summer. I started in the fall of '89, and I was there for 1 year only. And it was very specific,
project?
My Heavenly Father wanted to work some very specific things in me and through me while there. And then at the end of the year, it was a perfect departure. And I went back to ORU and they were already prepared to receive me. And so it was a really amazing time, but it was a very healing time. Very
Beautiful.
precious.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch
My
Hashem.
memories of Virginia Beach are incredible. It transformed my life.
Wow, and I never even knew
Yeah.
that. You got to talk some more, Rose. What about Region? What did you do at Region?
Oh, I said CBN. It was called CBN then. They changed the name to Regent. It's one and the same.
Oh, it was CBN University.
Christian Broadcasting Network, Pat Robertson. Pat Robertson and Oral Roberts were two of the most prolific voices in charismatic radio, television, etc. Both had TV ministries. That's why I was kind of chuckling that those were the two that I went to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move back to where we were. Okay, so that was the fundraising intern. Bridge Builders book publication, thanks to a grant from the Nathaniel Foundation. I'd like to say thank you. We will be completing the publication of this book by the end of Q4. Yeah, we're getting close there. Okay, Rabbi Shmuel Eliyahu. Following our cooperation with the Rabbi Steinzal Center, we approached another extremely popular rabbi, Rabbi Shmuel Eliyahu, who is the chief rabbi of Safed and the candidate for the chief rabbi of Israel. It's a very small country, so I'm able to elbow my way into real big VIPs. He expressed great interest in being featured on Root Source. We will hopefully be able to launch his courses in Q4. Very exciting. The List 2020, we are making progress on this complex project. We expect to complete it by the end of Q4 and hold a launch party in December. So if we're going to hold a launch party in December, and I'm also going to do a launch, so I don't know how we're going to do this. It looks like we're going to have a launch party. Maybe we'll just do a launch. I want to raise money with all of this. We'll do something in October, November, and December. What can I say? Instead of once a quarter, a Give Butter campaign, we're going to do it once a month. That's the way it goes. Next book. Lori's book club companion to the 5 years. Our good friend Lori Hines was so enthralled with Bob Odell's book, 5 Years with Orthodox Jews, that she decided to create a book club workshop to accompany it. We are aiming to publish it in Q4. Depends on when she finishes it. When I say aiming to publish in Q4, I mean, I hope that we'll get it out by the end of December. The other books are much closer to publication. She hasn't even written it yet, but she seems to be writing it quickly. Root Source app. Listen up, Revis. We have been asked by some of our students to create an app for Root Source. We have not yet moved on this, but might in Q4. And finally, the A-member and Gumroad donor migration. Root Source has close to 100 supporters who are making monthly payments through outdated platforms. We hope to migrate most of them to our Give Butter platform by the end of the year. These are all the things that we have done and that we plan to do in the coming quarter. Okay, very good. That was a review of activities of Q4 and a review of plans for Q4. I'm sorry, it was the review of the report of activities of Q3 and a review of the plans for Q4. Finally, let us review any questions or comments until now. Finally, let us review the plans for 2021 that we dreamt about in 2020. I'm happy that it didn't load this. I can breathe a second. So this was our annual report online. That what happened in 2020. We're not going to review that. This is what we did. All this is what we planned to do and did. All this is what we didn't plan to do but did anyway. And now these are our plans for 2021. And in a moment we will see what we actually did and what we hope to do, etc. We're already at the end of Q3. We're 75% done. We hope to conclude the migration. Let's see if I have it over here. Yeah, let me just 1 second. We hope to conclude, okay, all these December 2020 are what we plan to do. These are the 14 or 13 items that are on this list. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Grandchild and accomplished other things I didn't say over there, but I did have one more grandchild this year, so I will report that. Up to 4 so far. What's going on over here? So conclude the migration of our old site's lessons to our new site and make progress on other aspects. That's complete. Work on upgrading the audio and visuals, perhaps Q3. We didn't make it in Q3. Maybe we'll do it in Q4. Continue to publish and upgrade our newsletter. It's ongoing. Start recruiting new teachers. We aspire to 100 teachers by December 2021. In preparation, we got Rabbi Steinsaltz in Q2, and we've actually started in Q3. Work towards localization, Africa, China, India, maybe Q4. Higher Christian outreach may be important for Q3, but we didn't manage. Hopefully, we'll manage to start in Q4. The bottom line is that this is a serious thing, and I really would like to start with a significant vote of, what is it called? The vote of confidence. And that is why I've already submitted 2 or 3 times to the Nathaniel Foundation a grant request for $30,000. They haven't yet deigned to grant it. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to do anything until I get money, because like right now, Baruch Hashem, we have money, and we're not going to dump it all at once. But it certainly would help more, which is what happened with the Institute. I told Dave Pitcher that if we get a grant to start, then I will start. If we don't, then I might not start. It takes more time. Baruch Hashem, we got the grant. And we're moving forward. Okay, host next year's Bridge Build program, low priority, maybe Q4, maybe biannual. Yeah, I don't know that we did a Bridge Builders program last year. You all might remember. This year, because I'm going to plead COVID, it doesn't look like we're going to make it, especially since we've already said that I have 3 big projects every month. So I don't think I'm going to make another project. Participate in the planning of the 9th of Av. This has been done. We took a back seat as per the preference of the committee, and now I can understand it's the preference of the 9th of Av, Nation's 9th of Av organization. Participate, Launch Root Source Conversations podcast project, interviewing fascinating people. We got a grant, and we're still working on it weekly with Dr. Booker. Engage with like-minded activists. This is fluff, but we actually are working on creating a Bless Israel store to promote Israeli causes. That has been, I just discussed that with somebody who really was interested in us doing that. But I will see if I will be able to report something about it in the next quarter, but right now I don't really want to report anything about it. Published 4 new titles in Root Source Press. We've already finished 2, 5 years and Dutch translation. We're close to finishing another 3. Prize winning story, Bridge Builders List 2020. And also Lighting Up the Nations, and also 5 years workbook. Kitzur, we're moving fast on that. I think by the end of the year, we're going to have published about 12 titles in Root Source Press. We're working on the robust donor list. Not enough, but hopefully soon. Work more on foundations. This calls for retaining a dedicated contractor volunteer, hopefully Q3 or Q4. Same thing in Q3, hopefully Q4. It might not call for retaining a dedicated contractor or volunteer. We'll see what happens. I have an idea. Create Gumroad widgets. This means give people an opportunity to pay $40 for a course, maybe Q3, but really viable, I think, only when we have a Christian outreach. So maybe we'll do that in Q3. And the things that so those are the things that we mostly haven't done, but these are the things that we didn't plan but have done, and we reviewed. Most of these we did this month, but some of them we did this quarter, but some of them we did last quarter. And some of them we might do next quarter. Okay, any questions? That only took 5 minutes. And so we did both of those. My oh my. Last quarter, our meeting was 60 minutes. And here we are, only 41 minutes in. Has anybody got anything else to ask or to add?
It's same question, Gidon. When do you sleep?
When do I sleep? I usually sleep from about 10 p.m. to about 5 a.m. 7 hours. That's pretty nice. Of course, last month I didn't sleep that much, but that's not the question. And sometimes when I'm really tired, you don't see me here, but there's a bed in this room. Okay, adjournment. Whereas there was no further business, now therefore resolved, let me share this with all yous. The link here. And chat. I said chat. There it is. So please come in, everybody. And write the day that you will affirm. I'll help you out here. That's what you got to do. And if you're Revis, if you're already in, then please over type if you can September instead of June. Anne was not here tonight, so we will not write that. Albert was here and he's already first to blow. And Shelley was here as a present. She's driving, so she can't. So Shelley, if you can unmute yourself, then I will affirm for you.
Got it.
Shelley?
I'm at
Go
home
ahead.
now, so
Thank you.
Gidon, I'm having some tricky time with my technology. Will you do mine? I do affirm.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, I will contact Elisheva, Ann, and Elon and get them to affirm also. But thank you all very much. And that's it. And I was happy to have Deborah here. I don't know how much she was listening, but Deborah?
I was listening.
She was listening, so now she knows what I do all day. Okay, so thank you all very much. Things I try to report stuff that goes on in the advisors group when it's on the WhatsApp, when it is applicable and relevant. But I'm very happy to do this this quarterly report as well. Okay, so toda rabah, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gidon. Thank you, everyone.